3-time Player of the Year for D1 AA in college football. He was the D1 AA Heisman winner.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the best ever. In high school, in hoops, which we were just talking about golf, in high school in hoops, he averaged what? What did he average?
24 points, 9 boards, 5 assists.
Damn,
and a guy who he played with, who played in the NBA for like 17 years, said this guy could have 1,000% played in the NBA.
Okay, so he could have been an NBA.
Karan Butler.
Karan Butler was
that is the guy who was speaking on who was going to join us.
Okay, so he could have been a professional basketball player as well. Okay, so professional golfer could have happened.
Jeez.
Professional basketball could have happened.
He was a hell of a baseball player as well.
Baseball could have. What we're talking about, okay? What we're talking about is, this guy would be an all-pro, 4-time Pro Bowl quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted QB out of Eastern Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, color commentator who speaks to the biggest audiences in football every single year. They had a Thanksgiving record, 57.231 million viewers.
Jeez.
The most watched and listened to regular season game in NFL history. The commentator, Paisano, Tony Romo.
Yeah, Tony!
Grazie for your time, my Paisano.
Well, I can tell you, if I'd have known I was getting that, I'd have came on a lot sooner. I mean, that was incredible.
Well, we talk shit, though, too.
I actually think I was good.
Tony, we talk shit, though, too, because we are in the athletic world. So I think people do kind of have that entire thing. But I think your athletic career and your resume should be chatted about a little bit more, because now the only conversation about you is your commentating. Now, when you retire and decide to head into the booth to take the gig that you do you understand that you're going to be remembered forever as that guy as opposed to Dallas Cowboys quarterback or professional potential golfer or anything like that? Did you expect that whenever you took this job?
No, I actually remember Jim Nantz told me, he's like, I think when you're all said and done, you're going to actually be remembered for announcing. And, when you're a player, that we're like, they're just talking. I mean, that's what I was like. I'm like, they're just talking. We're the ones playing. And I still feel that way in some ways, where I'm like, they're the guys who are important. And we get to tell their story and help build up the game. And certain people, I love that part of it. I mean, just seeing what happens as people move on, which you've created. I mean, you guys there, Tony, obviously Ty, Boston, Darius, it's like you changed the whole landscape. The entire thing literally just got changed because of what you brought on and you guys did. And it's like, it's just completely different than when I grew up or even 5-7 years ago. I'm like, some people have talent to kind of go do that. You guys show it. I love watching you guys. It's so much fun. It's just literally been a joy because it's like, but it's rare to go change the whole landscape. And I'm just so cool to be on with you guys.
Well, hold on, Tony. This is not how this goes. Okay?
Wow. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, you do not
Love
do that.
you, Tony.
We appreciate. Thank you. Hey, grazie, Tony. Grazie. Grazie.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're not Italian, Tony?
Oh, great story for you. I am a rookie in the National Football League, and you'll find out here in 20 seconds, hopefully not 1 minute. But Bill Parcells is our head coach. And Tony, the late Tony Sperano, who was a great coach, was an offensive line coach, and he's Italian, so is Parcells. And they're saying to Parcells, like, Tony, you got to get your paisan. He's off. He's terrible, all these things. And I'm sitting there like, I don't think he knows I'm not Italian.
Tony Romo is not Italian? Hold on. I am flustered here. So you are not. I've been calling you a paisan every time I talk about you. I'm 100% so sorry.
I actually let Parcells do it too. I wanted to make the team. So I was like, hey, let's go with it. I'm not Italian, all you need me to beat. So and then Sperano comes through one day. He's like, he's not Italian, right? And I was like, shh, what are we doing? We're all the same team here, I thought.
Yeah.
You pretend.
Yeah.
So I'm a mutt. I got a little bit of everything in me.
Okay, well, muchos gracias, mi amigo, and thank you, and merci beaucoup, and grazie, okay? And I think, I forget what the German is, but I could find it in there. Tony, let's talk about you commentating. Obviously, do you keep up with fan response? And when there's 50-some million people listening and watching what you're doing, you understand that there is going to be reactions, both incredibly positive and negative, because I don't think there's ever been a color commentator that has been well-liked, because at some moment, you're going to have to call a terrible time for a team's history. Like, there's going to be a devastating loss, and a play-by-play person is going to have to be the voice of that loss and that celebration of the other team. So I think there's always going to be a sense of hatred that you are going to be associated with a negative thing happening for something that people love, especially at the mass amount of people that watch football games. Do you keep up with the shit that gets sent about you? Do you keep up with the praise? Like, how do you kind of deal with 50-some million people having an opinion on how you set the tone of a football game? How do you deal with that?
Well, I think it goes with territory. Like, people are like, what about the criticism here? I was like, well, I mean, do you get, like, you guys go through this all the time too. It's like, you're doing you, and you got to be yourself and everything, and you're trying the best. It's not like you're never not trying your hardest to go be great at something. But then you look at it, and it's like, I mean, your whole crew, the noise is the noise. It's part of being in this job. And to me, it's like, it's up, it's down. But at the end of the day, I mean, you don't really listen to things unless, to me, it's like all the fans come up to me and say how much they love us and everything. And it's like, that's what I feel. As far as looking at stuff online, it's just part of the process, but I don't think it really changes things. It's like, if everyone likes you, I mean, they're watching you, so there has to be something there. But we're also commenting on their teams that are winning and losing. It's like, I don't like someone when he's not fully rooting for my team. So there's a balancing try. I root for both teams. I root for guys who love the sport, who care so deeply, and they want to win. It's like, I want them to care as much as I did. And those are the guys who kind of like root for it a little bit, and sometimes it comes across a certain way, but I love it. It's a great job.
How do you go about your preparation? Do you try to learn about the players more? Do you try to learn about the scheme more? Because I remember at the beginning of your run, you were basically calling out what was going to happen every single play, and it was epic. It was like actually Romoing, I think, is what people started calling it. It was like kind of your calling card for what you were doing at the beginning as you were trying to make your way. Kind of felt like you were shooting from the hip a bit, rode the emotion of game, but then you were calling out plays as well. Is that from your experience? Is it from the week preparation? Like, what is your week ahead of games whenever you're either talking or watching what you're trying to prepare for?
Well, there's a lot that goes into it. I think the biggest thing is, it's like a coach or player. You're going to soak in it early in the week. In other words, you start watching the games and you start to like get a sense, for who this team is and what makes them good, where there's their strengths and where's their weaknesses. And so I sit there, and eventually you get to a point where you're like, this is problematic for this team. And so I remember doing the Bills Broncos game, and going into that game, I was like, okay, Denver's the number 1 seed. Obviously that's the number 1 team in the AFC, but Josh Allen's the best player. He's over here. So that's going to be okay. Let's look at this. This is a great defense here. Oh, you know what? This is actually a bad matchup for Denver a little bit. They could have had other teams, but Buffalo is a great team. They can run the football. They're big. Denver's actually faster. It's almost like Denver was built to beat Kansas City. And it's like they didn't necessarily ready to go against Buffalo in this environment. You saw Buffalo impose their will and be able to run the ball on them, but I was like, that's tough. That makes it a lot tougher. So I'm like, all right, give the edge. And they got the quarterback. Okay, this is going to be a tough game. And then all of a sudden you look on the other side and you're like, man, you can run the ball in Buffalo, but I don't see Denver running the ball in Buffalo. It just doesn't seem like that's who they are. Their idea. They're not going to impose their will. So I'm like, now it's tougher. And then all of a sudden, Bo Nix comes out there and has an incredible game. Sean Payton calls a perfect game. And all of a sudden you see, well, I forgot they have Sean Payton. And Bo Nix is for real. And all of a sudden that defense got after Josh Allen in the past game a couple times, and there's the game. But these games are like that. It comes down to these styles and fights. It's fun.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out the style going into the game and figure out weaknesses and figure out who is obviously doing it. You can potentially then predict exactly how a game's going to go, or maybe expect a game to go a certain way. Whenever you just mentioned there that Sean Payton's the coach, I forgot about that. There are some quarterbacks that you certainly enjoy a lot more than others, it sounds like, whenever you're calling games. And why do you think you've fallen in love with some of these quarterbacks? Because I think every color commentator does it. There'll be some quarterbacks, because quarterbacks are the game. You know that. I mean, you were the quarterback for a long time.
It's literally quarterbacks and punters. That's what it comes down to.
Which punter, by the way, only other one taking snap.
Yeah,
so,
best athlete.
So it is on field. Yeah. So field, punts and field. Yeah, and even on kickoff, I'm getting the ball. Yeah. So it is about us. So now that it is about us, how much do you try to separate human from play? How do you kind of balance all of that while trying to tell a story and be kind of non-biased towards anybody else that isn't that person, if that makes sense?
Man, you have to be yourself. You know this. It's like, at times you're the most loved person. At times when you sit there and play the heel on game day, it's fantastic. Because I'm like, I don't know if I could pull that card.
I heard that. You got some of those too. It's amazing. Those sounds. Are those everyday life? That's just who you are?
It's terrible. Yeah, it's real.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know. Yeah. For me, though, I feel like you have to be yourself and just go with it. You know what I mean? It's like I got to this position because I have some gifts that, the good Lord bestowed upon me that I'm able to utilize at certain times. I mean, I feel like I want the game to be built up. I want certain players, the guys who care deeply. I mean, to me, it's like I just want you to give everything you have. And if you literally care that much to everything, then you root for those guys because not everyone gives every ounce to them. And then so many players do, but not all of them. And so I just root for certain people who love the sport and give it their all, like fully.
Well, we respect and appreciate the amount you're giving to the sport and your energy. We ride the wave with you. You're all that shit.
It's the best.
We are there with you. 51 million people are there with you. Keep going, man. I also appreciate the fact that you're not forcing anything. Feels like you are letting the game come to you. It does feel like you let the game come to you whenever you talk about it all, and we respect and appreciate that. Let's talk about some moves that were just made, Tony. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Tony, one of those quarterbacks where it definitely comes through on the TV that you love him, Josh Allen. Out there in Buffalo, and now he's got a new head coach. I know you've sat in a ton of production meetings with Josh Allen. I would assume with Joe Brady as well. What's your thoughts on his hire, and what's your thoughts on how Joe Brady will, evolve as a head coach now?
Well, I just heard that right there, so that's interesting. But I was thinking right after, I didn't love them letting Sean McDermott go. I think he's a great football coach, someone who's going to get a great guy. I mean, I think if you're going to make that play, though, this is the only reason that you do that is because if you have a stud in your building who might get a head coaching job somewhere else, you keep him in-house. And the only way to do that is to hire him as your head coach. Now, I don't necessarily think Sean McDermott takes a backseat to anybody. But what Joe Brady did when he came on, really changed the fortunes of this offense for the last year and a half. I mean, it's been outstanding. They have a run game. They have the ability to play action. Josh Allen drops back, but he's just looked clean. He played the best football of his career the last year and a half, 2 years. And so to me, it's like, this is the Joe Brady hire. It's a lot of the reason why Sean McDermott might not be there in some ways.
Yeah, because they're wondering, over the last couple of years. And you talked about Josh Allen and being his best and the offense being his best. Remember, as soon as he took over, James Cook. Let James Cook became the thing. It was like literally the entire game. And now he's top runner in the league. Obviously just signed a new deal. Offensive line's good. Josh Allen is good. Are they good, or does Joe Brady help make them better? Probably. And now he's the head coach. He's in the building. Hiring a staff, though, Tony. That's the whole thing. You've obviously played for the Cowboys forever. Is it your only team? Yeah, got it. Dallas Mavericks you played for too.
Yeah, one day.
What? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, scored 30.
Yeah, you're a kicker and a punter, too. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, and you're a kicker and a punter, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you're damn right. Absolutely. Picked a couple in preseason. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, you understand. I heard you were popping and locking out there with the Mavs. They thought about signing you for a playoff run. We don't know the bottom of it. You would have to certainly get to the bottom of it for that entire thing.
It's true. I was only about 42 pounds overweight, I thought, so I just didn't quite get there in time.
How's that bad? Choose the most ridiculous places to do those, because they always get a photo of you on like a crescent of a hill doing the backstretch right on the outside of the green. You're an incredible golfer. We've all witnessed it. We're all very impressed with your golf game. But is your back, how is the back? Is that just going to be a chronic thing for you, do you think? Or how do we beat it?
Oh, it's chronic. I mean, I've had 2 back surgeries. It's every day. My wife and kids know. It's like, all right, I got 3 boys, so it's so fun. And they're like, all right, let's go play basketball. I was like, no problem. Just give me 34 minutes while I do some exercises, glute exercises, some core work, and then I should be ready to go. And that's not an exaggeration. Sometimes when I'm sitting down there and doing the cat calls and everything and on the course stuff, I'm like, it's not me choosing the worst place. It's my back choosing me. When I'm like,
makes sense.
It drops you.
Here comes another picture. What are they going to do? But I like my back.
It drops you at that spot. Got it. We should have a little bit more respect for that. Yeah, because I'm always like,
exactly.
Okay, I apologize. And back problems are the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
No joke.
We don't want to pile on anything. You might know.
No, but think about Stafford this year. I mean, for him to do what he had back, remember that was a little worry in preseason. Then he comes out as an MVP. It's like, that might be a little reason why he might not come back if you look closely, in my opinion. We'll see.
Okay, so at the end of your career, I think Dak, did injuries affect, did the back surgeries come whenever you're playing? I don't remember this.
Yeah.
And when you're making these decisions, like Stafford, it's obviously been alluded to that maybe he doesn't continue to play or whatever, and they have to move on post Stafford. And I think that's been talked about a while. We would automatically say, okay, he won a Super Bowl. I think everybody acknowledges his greatness. We think he's a Hall of Famer. And if now is the time time to walk away. But people very rarely get to walk out on their own, A lot of chasing the dragon almost happens. And I'm not going to say it's going to happen again, but I don't know. Off an MVP season, if you're just to walk away, that would take a lot of, to come off an MVP.
Conference title appearance, like you're that close to.
Tony, that would be a crazy amount of human restraint, that comes.
I agree. You're so smart with the human dynamics, and you can tell people right away. I mean, you're able to switch in a second and change the subject, make someone feel comfortable or not. I see it so clearly. Like with Stafford, it's like, well, people don't do this. It's like they come back. You're playing the best football of your career. You don't just stop, right?
Yeah, I don't know, Tony. I don't know, Tony. I don't know,
to me,
Tony.
I don't know, Pat.
You're the greatest. With Stafford, the game will miss Stafford if he does not play. And his teeth and his beard and everything's too nice for him not to cover the game. If he wants to get into a post, we obviously would like that.
Do you think, question for you guys here, with Stafford, he's a great example, and he was like what's happening across the league. Now you see it with Sam Darnold. You saw Daniel Jones' resurrection over there in Indianapolis before he got injured. We saw Baker Mayfield at the Tampa. It's like the wrong situation, right? It's like you don't get to necessarily pick your parents, but like sometimes if you go to a nice home or something, you get taught earlier. You get taught better. These guys, they go to Shanahan, they go to McVay, they go to Kevin O'Connell. You get these coaches, and all of a sudden your career, and it's like Stafford, I mean, he's been one of the best for so long, but he didn't get his credit until he went to LA really fully, right? I mean, we're talking about a top 2-3 quarterback pretty consistently here for a while. I feel like maybe 4, but it's like, I mean, he might play as well as anyone in the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. A perfect match with McVay, too, it felt like. McVay felt like...
That's the other part, that division. I mean, would you like to go to the Cardinals if you're a coach when you have to go against McVay, Shanahan, and Mike McDonald? Good luck. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, and also we know about the report cards.
Yeah.
They didn't like that we learned about the report cards, but I don't know if that's necessarily the place. Let's talk about a place that is back. And obviously you played through the era. I was on football field as D-Butt and AJ, who joins in the second hour, were all part of it. This guy, through his formative years, got to enjoy it. Now he's back. Boston Connor has a question for you, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, it's an honor. You actually taught me a valuable lesson in this business.
I think you might like me because you're a Pats fan.
Well, I do now. I do now because you called, Brady versus Mahomes, Chiefs, AFC Championship. Awesome. Then we got bad, and then I just started to hate you, and I tweeted something awful about you, and then you liked the tweet, and I said, okay, this guy gets it. I love Tony Romo again. But speaking of those times, we are back in those times. The Patriots are once again in the Super Bowl. Drake May, Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel. What do you think about that whole resurgence? And just so you know as well, everyone talks about once your team is in a primetime game, they're good again. Typically, especially for an East Coast CBS type team, once the Patriots got the Romo Nance booth, I think everyone in New England realized, okay, there's something here. And I know you were early on them, but how do you feel about what they've got going in 23-year-old Drake May with a young first-year Mike Vrabel? What do you think?
I mean, it's been so impressive to watch. I mean, this had all the makings. I mean, this is early. For me to say that I thought they'd be in the Super Bowl, that wouldn't be true. And you guys know I almost never get that wrong. So
never.
I feel like when they hired and started in the offseason, by the Kraft's making the decision to move on, they just were like, okay, we made the mistake last year. Mayo's not our coach for the future. They bring in and hire Vrabel. That's the very starting point for this whole process. Then all of a sudden you say, well, Vrabel, you're CEO, you're that guy that they run it more than ever now in the league. The head coach, it's like, who's your staff? Pat mentioned it earlier. It's like, that staff is huge. Who are you going to have on your staff? Well, he's going to go get Josh McDaniels. It's like, whoa. And you got a young quarterback who's learning. And I'm pretty sure this happened a long time ago as well. His name was Tom Brady. And obviously McDaniels wasn't the OC at the time. But he ended up developing and having this incredible run together. I mean, you saw that run right there. I've seen all these plays from Josh all these years. Boss, you've seen all these plays. Like, if the weather was nice and it was 3rd and 4, he'd throw a wide receiver screen trying to run the clock out to Welker or Edelman. And then it's like, at the end, we got to keep the clock running. What's the safest call? But we still got to be aggressive and get a first down. Oh, let's bootleg and send everyone there. That way, even if you stack it, the clock still keeps running. Like, he's had these plays forever. And I felt like you saw the imprints. And that was the starting point for them to make this run. And then Vrabel's ability to sense and feel and get the collection of the roster all together. And see, they had Chase on, and you probably know his story better than I do, probably in Boston. But Chase Down comes in there. This is your outside linebacker, and he's a stud. He got cut from Carolina, I believe, and then he was on the practice squad for the Raiders. And Vrabel looks at this dude and he goes, "That guy could play in our system. He just hasn't gotten taught yet. The player development there off the charts. This is why they're here."
It feels like the old Patriots.
The good old days.
They block a kick. They block a kick out there. Obviously, they make the smart play. They don't make any mistakes.
The weather.
It's ugly football. The weather's terrible. It's like this. We've seen this. We have literally lived this entire thing. And Vrabel's trying to shy away from that. He was talking to Coach Cowher, and Coach Cowher's like, I've seen this before. Defensive coach, young quarterback up here. And Vrabel's like, I don't want to, let's not. Didn't shy away from it, but was also like, hey, we got to do something vastly different here. That's like the greatest of all time. But it looks eerily similar. So the fans are like, oh, we're right back where we're supposed to be. They're loud, Tony. These mass holes, Tony, these mass holes are loud, and they know how to be.
Yeah, the big difference, and I saw him, Vrabel, sit down with Brewski, and he said, Brewski told him he reminded him a lot of Parcells. And I think the big difference between Belichick and Vrabel is like the personal connection with the players, because Belichick was an unbelievable coach, obviously unbelievable game plan week to week. He was going to have the team prepared. Vrabel's still going to do that. He was that type of player, teammate, coach. But having a personal connection with these different players in their different stages of their career, I think is the biggest difference. Obviously, two very different coaches, but the biggest difference between the Belichick era and now what the Vrabel era will be in New England. But, obviously, there's more ways, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
And on that, that's weird. People say that a lot.
Why
say that a lot. I can't. What did the cat do?
People hate cats.
Yeah.
And how many different ways are there actually, I wonder?
Can't be 1,000.
That'd be interesting. You think about the weirdos, though, out there doing it. They probably found 1,000 different ways.
Where's Bill?
Someone used fire. It's weird.
There you go.
Okay, see, in your mind, you said the same thing. Yeah, that's a weird.
I just said it. You guys just didn't say it. I got it.
Yeah, exactly, Tony. Yeah, that seems to be the jam. Yeah, that feels like that is kind of your thing. Riding the wave with you is an experience. You have to understand that. I assume because in real life that probably happens whenever you're talking to people. It's just like that in the boat. It's fun. It's fun riding the wave. But you're just like whenever we do our thing, and I think you did try to reference that, even though you're at 51 million and we're nowhere near that amount. There are people that are just like hate who I am in real life and definitely on the internet as well. And it sucks for them whenever I'm dropped into something. I'm sorry that I'm here, but I am
I'm
here.
the same way. I'm like, I'm not trying to have it bad.
Yeah, I know you don't like me. I know you don't like me, and I'm here, and you want to like this. Like, I am so sorry, but this is just how this is. So that's always going to exist. So I respect the fact I see a lot of simpatico with the way you kind of go about doing your thing from me. So I have a lot of respect for what you do, but you are very much, and I love it.
It's appointment viewing.
It is. Yeah, because you never know. We need you on the next Alex Honnold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Did you watch that?
I actually just saw the clip of it, but I haven't watched it yet. But I literally just got back home, and I was like, what happened? What?
So Free
this
Solo.
Is like Mission Impossible? This is real? Like, it's like, what are we doing? Running Man, the old movie? It's like we're just going to watch someone die?
So that's coming back with Glenn Powell, actually. I do believe it's going to be. It's out right now. Did you watch Free Solo with this guy, Alex Honnold? Tony, did you see Free Solo?
That was awesome. Okay. That was awesome.
So there's a lot of those moments while you're watching this live. Like you got the Free Solo, sweaty palms, sick feeling while watching something happen on TV. And I guess we haven't talked to him. We put the request in. We don't know if he's done a post-climb presser. We do not know if he's done that yet. But I would like to understand how hard he thought this was versus what he normally does, Tony. And I think it would be something special to get you on the call for when he does this to the Eiffel Tower or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that'd be cool. I'm telling you, right there, I'm like, I wouldn't go by the window. Forget about being outside. I'm like, that's windy. I mean, that shows you how special and gifted he is, though. Like, we're talking probably about the best in the world, I'm guessing, right? Like,
yes.
So to me, it's like, with someone so great and you're the best in the world at something, things get a lot simpler. And it's like, it's still ridiculously hard what he did for him, I guarantee. But for him, I mean, he just does things so perfectly. It's like Tom Brady throwing football.
It is like Tom Brady. Okay, so Tom Brady, GOAT. Okay, Tom Brady, GOAT in your eyes. Have you done like the best ball thrower, though? Have you done that whole conversation as well? What are your thoughts in history of ball? And do you go back, like we got Joe Montana joining us in the next hour. Do you go back like Dan Marino's quick release with the way he was able to spin it? How deep does your judgment go? And do you do top fives and things like that whenever you're just kind of watching ball?
Yeah, I love analyzing. I mean, I love learning. part of the reason I talked to, you talk about when you study the players and the coaches throughout the week, but a lot of the time I'm asking questions I'll never use on air because I'm like, all right, why are you in a 4-eye here? And like, I've learned so much stuff. It's like you knew coverages and all the stuff in football when I played, but now I literally understand so much deeper level, the read technique in a corner and how to teach the hand placement for the D tackle and, the kick step, the A-B clamp. It's like there's a ton of stuff, but I just feel like I love studying and I love learning. And part of that was the mechanics of the throwing motion. I love trying to perfect that. I mean, I went a decade without ever missing a day of throwing because I felt like I had to catch up. I was so behind as a youngster. And I eventually remember when I figured out, I was like, ooh, I think I'm starting to, and then it was like, bam, now I can make the ball go wherever I wanted. And it was like, the game got easier. And I feel like you study other guys. Tom Brady had the best spiral. And it's like, the ball it's almost not spinning. It just stays. And it's so pure and it looked effortless. And I remember just being like, wow. And then Aaron Rodgers threw a ball one time at the Pro Bowl. And I'm sitting there and that was the start of the year. He comes in and it was 09 or 10. And he gets up there and I'm like, okay, this is like Steve Smith show really fast. He's going to run down the field. And it's like there's a rhythm to boom, boom. And you throw it. And all of a sudden he waits. And I'm like, he's going to be 20 yards short on this dude. And then he goes, boom. And he launched his ball. And I swear, it goes up, up, up. And when it's supposed to apex and come down, it just kept going and going and going. The ball went like 80 yards in the air. And I remember just looking over, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. So that was the first time. There's like guys like that where it's like, there's rare, right? You got Elway, Favre, Marino. Everyone looked up to Marino. That was the other part. Montana was the best in that era. Elway's right there too. Marino, I mean, legends. But they all asked Steve Young one time. He's like, everyone kind of wanted to be Dan Marino in the mid-'80s. It's like they actually looked up to him. The other quarterbacks in the league, it's like quarterbacks, they want to have what somebody else has. So Marino's right there with all of them. I mean, I'm missing a bunch of guys too. You got Favre.
Well, you're not an Italian, so Dan Marino
Aitman's a great thrower.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, you're not Italian, so you weren't necessarily just going to guarantee Marino spot, Montana spot in there. We learned that earlier in the show. Man, I should have known that a long time ago. I've been saying that a long time. I appreciate it was weird. I appreciate your meticulous attention to detail. I think that alters how a lot of people will view maybe you calling a game, all these things you're saying. You didn't miss a day for a decade throwing? You weren't worried about like pitch count? Anything like that? No?
People told me that when I first got in the NFL. I was like, I don't have time to pitch count. I won't be here. It's like you have to. Like I had sore arm stuff sometimes, but I'm like, it's more important for me to get better at throwing. It's like my job is to put a ball somewhere where only my guy can get it and faster and on time. And it's like I always had, the Lord blessed me with instincts, right? The ability to like feel like right here. J.J. Watt loves that one. So. To me, it's like that's sixth sense, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, I didn't do anything for that. I just got that from the Lord. It's like you just sense and feel where people are and you can do that stuff. But the part I couldn't do was this part. Make that throw under duress and hit my guy. Because it's like, I made the NFL because of instincts, but then it's like, hey, that was awesome. I mean, I missed him by 5 yards, but I got to him faster than everyone. So that's kind of my game. I needed to learn how to do that stuff because I wasn't very good when I first got in the NFL.
Hey, you got great, though. You worked your ass off, which we respect and appreciate. Great football story, great American dream story, especially with the numbers that CBS is getting for these games in the afternoon, that you're voicing over NFL history literally every single time you step on a mic. Speaking of NFL history, there's been a lot of evolution at the coaching position. Who's the right hire? Who's the wrong hire? Tone has a question for you about it all.
Yeah, Tony, obviously a lot of head coaching hires are happening right now, and everyone's judging them immediately, but you get to talk to head coaches literally every single week, offense, defense, coordinators, everything like that. Do you care if a head coach is an offensive mind or a defensive mind? And is there anything if you were interviewing people that would be your singular focal point on what a head coach needs to be?
Yeah, great question. No, I don't care. It's more about the person. So I've had multiple owners, GMs call over the years and for advice on stuff. And I remember when Mike McDonald came on, I said, I'm telling you, this is the best hire in this cycle. If anybody cares, okay? All right, tell me why. I'm like, well, number one, his defense, he runs exactly a similar style that I would if I was putting a defense in. In other words, we have 5 fronts, we have 5 coverages. We don't need 1,000. but they all look the same. So you put the front, the back end, all lines, and then everyone gets to play multiple positions because they understand it conceptually. So he teaches the concept of the defense. Not here's your play, your position is what you do on this coverage or on this play. So he teaches the concept of it, and I was like, that's a great way of teaching. And then on top of it, his instincts for the game. Like, this is one of the most underrated aspects is, okay, you're a head coach. We got culture. We need that, right? Who you hire matters as much as anybody. Okay, are you calling the defense? Are you putting the defense in if you're a defensive guy? Because I kind of need you to, if it's in my opinion. Whether you call it, I don't mind, but I do want you in your defense. It's part of the reason we're getting you here. And some guys get hired as the head coach, they hire the D coordinator, it's his defense now. And I don't love that. And then that eventually fades away a lot. Then offensively, it's a lot to be the head coach and the play caller. It takes a special person. If you get that guy, you get that guy. It's Sean Payton. It's Sean McVay. It's Kyle Shanahan. It's like we're talking the best of us, Andy Reid. I mean, we're talking about the top guys, but there's only 5 of them probably in the world, 6 at any given time. And so that's the guy. But you got to get the right guy who can understand how to fit these things together, to fit these coaches and the right scheme. When Mike Vrabel's smartest thing was hiring Josh McDaniels. That was literally as important as anything for the Pats. It's not going to get this other guy here because that would have changed the entire complexion thing. That's why Mike Vrabel was a great pick. He knew who to go get to help the other side. So you can hire either side.
How about McDaniel's name not even being up for any job?
Nope.
No. I've done that. Yep. I've done that. We got Drake May up here. I like Vrabel. They're paying me good.
New England's great.
We got a chance to really do something. I've done the head coaching thing. Definitely not this year, turning it down. These fired coaches, McDermott just turned down basically any further interviews. McDaniel just signed up to be the offensive coordinator. How do you feel about that whenever coaches take a year off after they get fired? We saw Peterson do that, right? He kind of took a trip around town before he ended up back at Jacksonville. Big Mike McCarthy obviously took a year off, joined us, went back in there. How do you feel about the fired head coaches? Like Stefanski gets right back into it with Atlanta. Saleh goes DC for a year. Now he's back into head coaching with Tennessee. What are your thoughts on the transition out of the head coaching role?
Well, I think there's multiple fronts here. I think, number one, sometimes a break is needed, but also you get paid. You got to remember, it's like that they still got to pay that guy. So if he goes and takes this other job here, it's like that payment can be different. You never know. That's part of it for some guys. Some guys just get burnt out a little bit. I do think it's important that you have some sort of positive media aspect to what they think of you, and definitely across the league where those guys who are getting those things have had some people who think they're good coaches, right? Other guys, it's like, if you come out and have a really terrible season and it finishes, like, all right, he's not that good, right? Just that's how people think sometimes. It's like, well, sometimes there's things out of their control, injuries, aspects, who got drafted. But McDermott will be picked up very quickly. I mean, he's outstanding. I feel like he's one of the best. Maybe sometimes you just need to hear a new voice. That's part of it.
Harbaugh. How about Harbaugh just immediately going to the Giants? Tomlin obviously moves on. There's a lot of crazy transition right now, man. There's 10 coaching jobs open.
I mean, I just never saw this coming. It's like, I could see one of them, right? It's like, okay, but to have Tomlin, Harbaugh, McDermott before the season, I'm just like, that's impossible. Like, you're literally talking to 3 of the top 6, 7 coaches in the league. And it's like, I don't know. I remember Andy Reid making the joke, at the end of the year or something, they're like, are you coming back next year? You're going to retire? He's like, I plan on coming back. I mean, if they'll have me, you never know in this league. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. And then I'm like, well, actually, this is all happening all over here. 2 weeks later, I was like, gosh, Andy does know this league pretty darn well. But I just think you got to hire the right coach. And if you don't have one, you ain't beating these other coaches. They're too good.
Yeah, there's some real talent out there leading teams around the league, especially with how quick turnover was in Chicago and Jacksonville and New England. The expectation is going to be for you to be great quickly. Okay, speaking of turnover, they had one in Dallas, obviously. Ty has the last one for you here, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, I would assume very few people know Jerry Jones the way that you do, and I don't know what you guys' relationship is like, but what did you there you go, great. So what did you think of kind of just all of the rhetoric surrounding him? Obviously, after he trades Micah, people are killing him and saying that he's trying to, lose intentionally or whatever. And then later in the season, they get Quinnen Williams. It seems like whenever Dak is healthy, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, but they haven't been able to get the defense right. I think they're going on their 4th defensive coordinator in 5 years. Like, what do you think about all the moves that Jerry has made, and how close do you think the Cowboys are realistically to, I guess, winning the division? It seems like winning the Super Bowl is still a pretty tall task for them.
It's hard to have that kind of turnover every year. I think what they try to do is they've tried to have a philosophy of hiring ex-head coaches as the D coordinator. And if you take a look, you had the Dan Quinn to the Zimmer and then to Eberflus. And I think that worked with Dan Quinn so well that they kind of want to stick with that. And then obviously it just didn't work out for multiple reasons. I mean, it's hard for anybody to come in losing a Micah, but I could see how this is going to be a win-win for Green Bay and Dallas. I mean, if you weren't good enough to win the Super Bowl last year and you're about to sign Micah, then all of a sudden now you're telling me, okay, I'm going to pay 3 guys in the top 2 or 3 in the league at their position. Dak, CD, you got Micah, and then all of a sudden you got another receiver coming in now that you're going to have to pay. It's like you're not going to really be able to build this roster out fully. It's like, they have given up a lot of running yards in the playoffs in years past. I mean, sometimes that's a little too short to think of just that for a reason to trade. But I could see getting 4 or 5 guys, and that could actually equal, something there with Mike. I mean, you've got now 2 big guys in the middle. It's a lot improvement. They've got another first rounder coming this year. They've got another one. I mean, I just feel like they could end up getting 3 or 4 guys if you get the right coach in there. And I think they've got a good one this year. I think he's got a pretty good system, and they really like him. But this team could turn around in a hurry. I mean, this is not a long one. This could be real fast. I mean, now you got Harbaugh in the division too, so it's going to be tougher. But I see Dallas 1 or 2 players away with a scheme on defense of making a run in the playoffs.
Okay, I appreciate you. You basically said exactly what Jerry said. Everything you just said right there. Can't stop, don't run. They got what they got. We got what we got. We tied. Neither of us won the Super Bowl.
They lost last season because of it, though, because you lost those games early, and it's like, that you were too far behind the 8 ball to get back in it. Agreed. So you did kind of lose out a season in some ways.
Hey, Jerry's cool. He's never given us a chance. Jerry, he's
awesome.
We've been shooed out of the Jerry camp. Every time we put in a request, it's always just like bounced out the door, basically.
I'll talk to him.
We saw him in Landman. We saw him in Landman. What a scene. What a scene. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's right up his alley. I mean, that was him to a T when he was younger. He was all in that world.
You try to make something with your family. That's really what it's all about. And then he kisses him on the forehead, walks out of there. Unscripted, one take. Get me through there. What a legend. You are as well, Tony. Keep doing your thing, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate your contributions to ball. Not just ours, all of them. Golf, basketball, baseball, I assume. And anybody that's a D1 AA Heisman, I consider an absolute dog. And obviously you've proven to be more than that. So cheers, dude. Good luck out there.
Hey, thank you guys. And I'm a terrible baseball player, so I appreciate the plug, but that one's not true. The rest of them are obviously true, but that one was definitely not.
But
thank you guys, and thank you for making my days more fun. I always look forward to watching. Keep it up.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Romo.
Yeah.